I see a lot of people who, talk about certain things, especially, they do a lot of jacking from these channels, my channels, right? And one of the terms that I created, the reachback, right? The reachback term, right? It's reachback in many forms. But one of the forms that happens a lot, when it comes to these keishas is these stud-keishas. When these stud-keishas, they're starting to look at the economy and things is just so overpriced and things is just, too much for them. When they get in these relationships, right, they're expected to take the role of a guy. And when they do get into that role, it's too much for them. It's too much for them. They're not built for it. You have to lead, right? You have to provide and you have to protect. And then when they get in that role and then they realize it's too much and they start complaining about the keishas that they're with, they start complaining that the keishas is ungrateful. They start looking at it and say, nah, this ain't it. And then they go back to dating men, which is a classic reach back move. So this Stud-keisha with the mangled mouth is going to explain why she's upset with it.
When they turn like 50, 60, they're going to settle down. So I guess the topic is studs talking about when they turn like 50, 60, they're going to settle down with a man. And I don't know if y'all playing or what, but baby, I will be single before I go settle down with a man. Y'all talking about it's childish and like you need to eventually get your life together. That's how I know y'all don't be in it to die for this. I'm saying like...
That's right, because you got to die for that. You got to go to the upper room for that.
Of course, like you could change your mind later down the road, but to say you're going to be 60 or 50 and decide that you're going to randomly just decide to meet a man and lay up and get married and whatever and live your life, like, you might as well go ahead and do that right now and just grow old with the man. Like, come on now.
And that's what they usually do. They don't wait until they're 50 or 60. I don't know where she came with that, but it's not 50 and 60. If you pay close attention to their dynamic, right, when it comes to their relationship, you don't see Keisha on Keisha activity, right, on a large scale in their 40s or 50s. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. You don't see, you go outside, you see the Keisha on Keisha activity, it's usually in their 20s, early 30s. You don't really see that in their 40s or 50s. By the time they turn 35, they realize this ain't for them.
You're done? You're done? Yeah.
They realize it ain't for them. And I'm telling you, a lot of them get into the role, especially the Stud-keisha, they get into the role of the man, and it's too much for them. You got to protect, you got to provide, you got to be the leader, and they're not built for it. And when they be complaining about the keishas they with, they be ready to put on high heels talking about now they understand where black men are coming from. And they putting on their high heels and dresses now. They make videos saying this. So, 40 and 50, 50 and 60. No. Try 35. 35 to 40 in that range, right, is where they usually, do the reach back. In that area.
Men. And I'm also dropping a song. Alright, I've dated women my whole life, and I've recently switched to dating men. And I'm also dropping a song about it on Friday. So because I've dated both, I'm going to talk about the differences between men and women that I've noticed in my experience. When men lie and they get caught in a lie, they will add on more lies to the lie. But if women get caught in a lie, they will either cry or straight up ignore it, like straight up like not respond to you calling them out on a lie and like try to skip over it and never bring it up again. But men will keep like adding on lies, twisting it, like playing in your face like you're dumb. Another difference is when you're talking to someone and y'all ever had that conversation like, oh, if we ever stopped talking, we could still be friends, or we could still work together, we could still do business together. With men, they actually mean that, but with women, they don't. Women will cut you off, like straight up ghost you if it didn't work out romantically. Even if it was just like a mutual thing, or if it was like a, no, I'm not feeling this romantically. Can we just be friends and work together? They'll say yeah when y'all talking to each other. But as soon as y'all not talking on that type of time no more, you will not hear from them again. And if you see them in public, they'll walk right past you, not even look at you. Like, it's crazy. Another difference is I think men fall in love more easily, or at least it's easier to get in a relationship with a man. Like, men will quick cuff you quick. Like, it don't take that much for them to want you. With women, it's a slower burn. And I know that's like kind of opposite of the lesbian stereotype of everything moving fast, but yeah, men move fast too. And this one is a surprise to me, this next one, but I think that men can last more rounds than women. Like, I don't know, this is just my experience, y'all, but listen, even though a man will be done quick, it don't take that much to get him back ready. Like, a girl, you make her 1-2 times, she be rolling over going to sleep. That's just my experience. I thought when I started talking to men that they would be like kind of more chill, like, oh, I wouldn't have to worry about emotions and feelings as much, but that's not even true. Men are emotional. Like, the most people that I've talked to that's complained about me texting back slow, or, you know, not responding as much, or, you know what I mean, is the men. And they will check you for that fast. Like, they will check you for it and be mad about it and damn near go off on you, even if y'all been talking for literally one full day. Literal real story. So it's like, I feel like, and men care about you showing interest more than women. Like, women are understanding when it comes to like the process of dating, and like, oh, you're not gonna get full access to me because we just started talking. But men, they want it all. They want it all quick. Like, quick. They want the full wife treatment before they're the husband. I talk more about this in my new song Switch that drops Friday. Let's go.
And we don't care about any of that. I didn't interrupt her because I wanted to let y'all hear how gone she is. She's gone. She is gone. She's done. If anybody, if there's a poster person, if needing therapy was a person, this is it right here. This any man dealing with this is going to have problems. He's going to have emotional, mental, all types of issues. All types of issues. And the reason why is because you can tell she goes back and forth. You know, she goes back. You can tell she goes back and forth. And the thing is, the reason why that's a problem is because there's roles that has to be played in each relationship. There's always a yin to the yang. When you keep crossing back and forth, you're dealing with different personalities and different dynamics, and it messes them up mentally because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, so they end up just doing anything. And it messes up whatever you have going on. If you accept this as a man, if you accept this into your life, not only are you accepting her and her problems, you're accepting her and the problems she had with the prior Keishas. See, dudes think this is I don't know why this turns them on when they dealing with, these Keishas that used to be, in relationship with other Keishas. You're asking for problems. You're asking for problems. The DV rates in those relationships are exorbitantly high. They out of this roof. You look up the average DV case, the DV rates for these relationships. Let me look it up right now. Let me look it up right now. Let me look it up right now. I looked it up before. I'm looking it up right now. Hold on. Domestic violence occurs in those relationships at rates similar to or higher than heterosexual relationships. Studies indicate that a significant percentage of women experience physical violence and sexual violence and or stalking by their intimate partner. 43, listen to this, 43% of these Keisha and Keisha activities have experienced the R word, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner, compared to 35% of heterosexual women. Somebody tried when I said that in a video before, a video I just did on the other channels. Somebody said that no, that's a misnomer. That's not true. No, you're bringing that into your relationship, black man. You're bringing all that dysfunction into your relationship. Those relationships don't work out, man. They generally don't work out. That's why you don't see Keisha's on Keisha activity well into their 50s or 60s. By then, the relationship implode, and before you know it, they're looking for a man. And you know why they looking for a man? You know why they looking for? Because they looking for stability. They looking for stability. That's what they're looking for. By the time you realize that what you did, you made a terrible mistake. You ignored the signs. You ignored the septum rings. You ignored the blue hair. You ignored all that for some buns. And now you're in jail. Or now you in the upper room. Or you lost all your finances. The reachback is real with them, man. The reachback is real. They really trying to reach back. Stuff is just too much for them. Prices is just soaring, and they can't afford it. They can't afford a relationship with women. They can't. They can't afford it. So now they looking for men so they could be the women in a relationship again. And you have to, be steadfast on this and say, slap that reach back away and say, no, thank you. Go back to the slums. Go back to your Keisha on Keisha activity. Leave us alone.
You big dummy.